There's something undeniably powerful about a woman who understands the value of mystery. It's not about playing games or being intentionally confusing. No, it's about holding back just enough so that a man's curiosity stays alive. You see, in the early stages of attraction, what grips a man's mind isn't how much he knows about you, but how much he wants to know. When a woman walks into a room and doesn't need to announce herself, doesn't overshare, and doesn't try to seek validation, that's when she becomes unforgettable. Her presence speaks louder than her words, and that's where the magic begins. Men are natural problem solvers. They're wired to figure things out, to pursue, to chase after what intrigues them. But if a woman lays it all out, her thoughts, her past, her heart, her intentions right at the start, there's nothing left to uncover. The chase ends before it even begins. But when you give glimpses, just little moments that show him there's depth, there's something sacred within you that not everyone gets access to. That's when his mind starts spinning. He thinks about you when you're not around. He replays your smile, your tone, the way you paused before answering a question. You linger in his thoughts because you didn't reveal everything. You made him wonder. Mystery doesn't mean you're closed off or cold. It's about energy. It's about walking in your feminine essence without needing to prove anything. A mysterious woman doesn't tell the whole story, but every chapter she does reveal is meaningful. She listens more than she speaks, and when she does speak, she does it with intent. She's playful but measured, open but not exposed. There's a calm confidence in her spirit that tells a man, there's more to me, but only if you've earned it. And that's exactly what flips a switch in his mind. Men may be visual creatures, but what truly pulls them in isn't just what they see, it's what they feel when they're around you. And mystery evokes a feeling that logic can't explain. It awakens his imagination. It makes him curious about what your life is like when he's not in the picture. He wonders how you stay so calm, so composed, so centered. He's drawn to that stillness, that self-assured presence, because it's rare. In a world full of oversharing, constant availability, and endless validation seeking, a woman who knows how to hold space, who knows the value of not rushing, stands out. She doesn't compete, she doesn't chase, she simply is asterisk, and in that being she becomes the most fascinating person in the room. It's not about withholding love or affection, it's about knowing that true connection takes time, and that you are worth exploring slowly. This kind of mystery doesn't just catch a man's attention, it captures his mind and keeps him coming back, not because you're unreachable, but because you're unforgettable. There's something deeply magnetic about a woman who knows how to challenge a man not in an aggressive or combative way, but in a way that calls out his best self. When a woman carries herself with quiet strength, when she sets standards and boundaries without shouting them, she naturally becomes a psychological Turn-On. You see, most men aren't looking for someone to submit to everything they say. Deep down, they crave a partner who inspires them to rise, to become better, not because she demands it, but because she embodies it. When a woman can look a man in the eye and let him know without words that she won't settle for half effort, that she values respect, consistency, and emotional depth, something awakens in him. He doesn't feel attacked, he feels challenged in the best possible way. And this challenge doesn't come from nagging, begging, or threatening. It comes from the way she lives, the way she holds herself, the way she walks away when he's not bringing his best. That's power. This type of challenge plants a seed in a man's mind. It doesn't bruise his ego, it sharpens it. It makes him think, how can I meet her where she is? Not because she forces him to change, but because he doesn't want to lose the opportunity to be in her orbit. A high, you woman doesn't tear a man down. She doesn't emasculate. Instead, she brings clarity. She lets her standards speak louder than her insecurities. She doesn't try to prove her worth, she knows it, and it shows in her choices. And the truth is, when a woman gives a man everything without asking for growth, respect, or effort in return, it may feel good at first, but over time he stops valuing it. Men don't respect what they don't work for. It's not manipulation, it's psychology. And when a woman becomes a mirror that reflects both a man's strengths and his weaknesses, it leaves a lasting impression. She doesn't have to say, "You need to be better." Her energy says it all. "I know what I bring. Can you meet me here?" This is the kind of challenge that doesn't repel men. It magnetizes them. It causes them to reflect, to adapt, to show up, because the woman in front of them isn't easily swayed by charm or surface-level effort. She's not moved by potential, she responds to action. And when a man sees that, he starts to think differently. He steps into his role with more intention. He wants to earn her respect, not just her attention. The irony is, the more a woman respects herself, the more a man wants to rise to that level of respect. Not every man will, but the right one, the one who's truly ready, will see her not as difficult, but as divine. Because she didn't lower her standards to keep him. She stood in her truth and gave him the space to rise or walk away. Either way, she wins. There's a kind of strength in vulnerability that most people overlook. It's easy to mistake being emotionally open for being weak, needy, or dramatic, especially in a world where people are told to stay unbothered or never let them see you sweat. But for a woman who knows who she is, vulnerability becomes her power. When a woman can open her heart not recklessly, but with discernment, it sends a deep signal to a man's mind that she's not afraid to be real. And in a sea of masks and performance, that kind of realness hits different. What many women don't realize is that while men often carry the role of protector, they're also deeply affected by emotional energy. And when a woman allows herself to be seen, to speak honestly about how she feels, what she hopes for, or even what scares her, it disarms a man. Not in a way that weakens him, but in a way that melts his defenses. Suddenly, he doesn't feel like he's in a game. He doesn't feel like he has to perform or pretend. He just feels safe. And when a man feels emotionally safe around a woman, that's when his walls come down and his heart opens up. This kind of vulnerability is not about oversharing or dumping emotional baggage. It's not about trauma bonding or crying just to get attention. It's about allowing emotion to be a natural part of connection. It's telling him how something made you feel without blaming. It's expressing appreciation without needing constant reassurance. It's saying, "I care about you." Even if you're not sure he'll say it back, because your truth matters more than your fear. And when this is done from a place of confidence, it becomes incredibly attractive. Men are used to strength being loud, being bold, aggressive, or controlling. But when strength shows up in soft, emotionally honest moments, it creates a new kind of bond. He sees a woman who's brave enough to be open, and it stirs something inside him. It inspires him to feel more, to share more, to be more. He may not even know why, but he starts associating her presence with emotional depth. He feels connected, not just turned on. The key is timing and intention. Vulnerability too soon or used to manipulate can feel like pressure. But vulnerability that flows from self-awareness and grounded emotion, that's unforgettable. It shows him that this woman isn't hiding. She's not afraid of intimacy. She's not guarded just to seem strong. She's strong because she knows herself and trusts her heart enough to let it be seen. In a world where everyone is trying to protect themselves from being hurt, the woman who dares to be emotionally open in the right way and at the right moment becomes a breath of fresh air. She stands out not because she's the loudest or the boldest, but because she's the most genuine and that genuineness becomes the glue that keeps a man thinking about her long after the conversation ends. Men may act like they are invincible, like nothing phases them, but deep down, they crave something most people overlook: acknowledgement. Especially acknowledgement of their masculine core. It's not about feeding egos or flattering someone just for attention. It's about seeing a man in his essence, his drive, his ambition, his need to provide, protect, and lead, and genuinely affirming it. And when a woman does this sincerely, in a way that feels real and not forced, it creates an emotional ripple effect that most women don't even realize. It doesn't just make him smile at melts his mind. You see, men carry a quiet pressure with them every single day. They're expected to show up strong, to hide their emotions, to carry burdens without asking for help. And while they may not always express it, they deeply notice when a woman sees the effort they're putting in. When she notices the way he takes care of the little things, how hard he works, how much he's trying, something in him softens. Not in a weak way, but in a way that builds deep attachment. A well-placed, heartfelt compliment is more than words. It's validation of his identity, telling him, "I love how driven you are," or "I feel so safe when I'm around you," is not just flattery, it's fuel. It touches the part of him that feels unseen by the world. It reinforces that what he brings to the table isn't just enough. It's powerful, it's respected, it's appreciated. And appreciation is one of the deepest turn-ons for the masculine mind. But it's not just about saying the right words. It's about the timing and the tone. When it's not expected, when it's not part of a reward system or strategy, when it just flows from the heart in a moment of sincerity, that's when it lands with the most impact. It catches him off guard in the best way because he's not used to it. He's used to being needed, but not always noticed. And when you notice him, not just his body or what he can give you, but the man he is at his core, it rewires how he sees you. The most powerful thing is that this type of praise doesn't require grand gestures. It's in the small things: a look of admiration when he's focused, a whisper of appreciation when he opens a door or makes a decision. Those tiny moments build emotional equity. They tell him, "You matter, and I see you." And when a man feels seen in this way, you're no longer just someone he dates. You become someone he remembers, someone he emotionally connects with beyond the surface level. So many women are waiting for men to prove themselves before offering this kind of energy. But the truth is, it's not about handing out praise to everyone. It's about knowing who to give it to, and how to give it. And when done right, this simple act of recognition can become one of the most psychologically powerful tools in attraction. There's something undeniably captivating about a woman who knows how to be both strong and soft at the same time. A woman who has her own life, her own goals, her own identity, and yet still radiates warmth, grace, and openness. That blend of independence with soft feminine energy isn't just rare, it's psychologically irresistible to a man. Because most women lean too far in one direction. They're either fiercely independent to the point of emotional unavailability, or they're overly dependent and lose themselves in the relationship. But when a woman walks that delicate line in the middle, she becomes unforgettable. Val, you woman doesn't need a man to complete her. She's already whole. She's not waiting by the phone, rearranging her life just to earn his attention, or compromising her standards just to be chosen. She has her own circle, her own routines, her own dreams, and because she's fulfilled on her own, she brings a sense of calm, centered energy into the relationship, not chaos, not desperation. That kind of self-assured presence grounds a man. It shows him that being with her isn't about fixing her or saving her. It's about adding to something that's already powerful. But here's what makes it even more attractive. She knows how to balance that strength with softness. She isn't cold, she isn't guarded. She still knows how to let a man lead when it's right, how to receive love, how to be nurturing, kind, playful, and emotionally present. This is the woman who can hold her own in the world, but also makes space for connection. She's not afraid to lean into her feminine side, not because she's weak, but because she's secure enough to be open. And that softness, that openness, it makes a man feel like a man. Masculine energy is drawn to feminine energy, and it thrives in the presence of a woman who's not competing with him, but complementing him. When he sees a woman who respects herself, has standards, and still greets him with grace, joy, and genuine affection, he doesn't feel the need to play games or prove his worth through ego. He starts showing up more emotionally, more consistently, more intentionally because he sees value in what she brings. What drives men crazy in the best way is when a woman can walk away if necessary, but never threatens to do so. She doesn't chase, but she also doesn't push away love. She invites it with standards. She's clear about what she wants, and because she doesn't need validation, her approval means more. A compliment from her feels real, her time feels precious, her attention feels earned, and when a man feels that, he begins to see her not as an option, but as the asterisk standard. This kind of woman doesn't demand to be prioritized. She inspires it, because she's not fighting for a spot in someone's life. She is the life, and her presence alone reminds a man what true connection feels like. Strong, nurturing, exciting, and deeply grounded. Sometimes the most powerful thing a woman can say is nothing at all. In a world that constantly pressures us to explain ourselves, defend our worth, or react immediately, silence can feel uncomfortable. But that's exactly why it holds so much power. When a woman knows how to use silence strategically, it doesn't create confusion, it creates intrigue. It causes a man to pause, to reflect, to wonder, and that wondering, that's where his mind starts to shift. That's where the attraction deepens, because silence has a psychological effect that words often can't achieve. Men aren't always moved by long emotional speeches or endless expressions of need. In fact, many times the more a woman talks, the more a man emotionally disconnects, especially when he feels pressure to respond in the moment. But when she steps back, when she creates space with grace instead of chaos, something strange begins to happen. He starts to notice her absence, her silence lingers. He starts to question his own actions, his words, his decisions. Not because she guilted him into it, but because her stillness spoke volumes. You see, silence isn't passive. It's intentional. It's not about ignoring someone or playing cold. It's about knowing your value so well that you don't need to constantly prove it. A woman who uses silence wisely doesn't need to chase answers or force closure. She knows that sometimes the most eloquent statement is the one that leaves space for the other person to feel the weight of their choices. That kind of presence sticks in a man's mind. It doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like self-respect. And here's where it becomes a true psychological turn-on. Men are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand. When a woman responds with silence, especially in a moment where she would usually react, whether that's during conflict, inconsistency, or mixed signals, it disrupts the pattern. It makes him question, what is she thinking? Did I mess up? Why isn't she reacting like others would? That emotional interruption is powerful. It creates a mental loop in his mind that keeps replaying, and the more he thinks, the more emotionally invested he becomes. But silence only works when it comes from a place of strength, not fear. It can't be used to manipulate or punish. That's when it loses its impact. It has to come from genuine emotional maturity, from a place that says, I'm not here to beg or explain my worth. If you can't see it, I'm okay with that. That kind of detachment doesn't push a man away. It makes him respect you more. It makes him realize that your peace isn't up for negotiation. A woman who masters the art of silence doesn't need loud words or dramatic exits. Her energy alone shifts the entire dynamic. She doesn't demand his attention, she commands it, without ever raising her voice, because her silence isn't empty, it's full of meaning. And in the right moment, it becomes the loudest thing he hears.